Hello friends, I'm here with our good friend Gail Gibbons, who is a wonderful author that we're going to be looking at as a guide when we're writing. So From Seed to Plant is a great informational text that gives us a lot of information. There's information in the illustrations, information in diagrams, and also the words themselves. So let's jump on in and see what she has to say. From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons. Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. And if you look, they have labels on all of the different plants. You have squash, violet, tulip, daisy, rose, pea, buttercup, corn. They all look so different and beautiful. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. All seeds grow into the same kind of plant that made them. So a sunflower seed turns into a sunflower, and an acorn turns into an oak tree. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. We have apple trees, zinnia, dandelion, aster. A flower is made up of many parts. There's a beautiful diagram here. If you have the book at home, or you can look at this picture up close, I really recommend it. It has great information. So I'm going to go around starting at the stem. The stem is the part that holds up the plant and carries water through. Then we have the part of the flower around the pistil are the stamens. Stamens make yellow powder called pollen. The sticky part of the top of the pistils, which I think are these, are called the stigma. In the center of the flower is the pistil. Oh, so that's what that is. And at the bottom of the pistil are the tiny egg cells called ovules. And there's the petal of our flower. Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. Stigma, pollen, pistil, stamen, pollination. Pollination happens in different ways. Often, wind blows pollen from flower to flower. So, wind causes pollination. Let's find some other ways. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. So bees and birds, the birds and the bees, help carry pollen to help make new flowers. So look at them. Then they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off onto the pistil. So they take it from one flower and they move it to another one. It's an ecosystem where they're all helping each other. If a pollen grain from a flower lands on the pistil of the same kind of flower, it grows a long tube through the pistil into an ovule. That is the beginning of a seed. So the pollen grain goes down the tube and it starts growing seeds. The seeds grow inside the flower even as the flower begins to die. As the seeds become bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seeds. So fruit, like when you think of like an apple or a lemon, that's just a protection for the seed. We get to have something yummy from it, but it's really there to help out, help protect it from predators. Ooh, even a pod there. 2 peas in a pod. When the fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open and the seeds are ready to become new plants. So if we don't eat them ourselves, they'll usually just die naturally and go back into the ground. Some seeds fall to the ground around the base of the plant, where they will grow. Some pods or fruits open the fruit and the seeds pop out. Sometimes when birds eat berries, they drop the seeds. So they pick it up and they're eating it and they carry it with them and it drops as they're carrying it because it's too heavy. Other seeds fall into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There they start to travel on the water until they stick to the dirt along the shore. Coconuts are a big type of seed that can be carried in the ocean and transferred to a beach. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that let them float to the ground like tiny parachutes. Others have wings that spin as they fall. I love helicopter seeds. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground, and some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or people's clothes. Later, they drop off onto the ground. I always get frustrated when those get stuck on my tennis shoes or my jeans when I'm walking. They can be really prickly and annoying to get off. But they travel with you, so wherever you take them off your clothes, that's where that seed is going to grow. A flower bed or vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in the garden. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for their plants. I wonder if you guys are going to start a garden this spring. It's a really good time to start planting. So let's see the life cycle of a plant. The beginning of a plant is curled up inside each seed. Food is stored inside the seed too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. So the food on the inside, in the beginning of a plant, and then the seed coat protecting it. A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be on or in the soil. Then it needs to rain to soak the seed and soften the seed coat. So it needs to be planted and it needs rain. You're doing a good job using transitional words and linking words to help me know what happens first, next, then. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. We've heard that word before. A root grows down into the soil, and the root takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. So a plant, when it's starts getting food from the ground, the nutrients there. Up grows a shoot. Green leaves grow up from the shoot towards the sun. Do you remember what it's called when the leaves start taking in sunlight to get food for the plant? I wonder if it will tell us. The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from water and minerals in the soil and the sunlight and the air all around the plant. That's called photosynthesis. Finally, the plant is full grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where the new seeds will grow. So it shows buds where they're beginning to grow. You're going to see lots of buds this spring. Many of the food people eat are seeds, fruits, and pods. They are full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals. And they're tasty too. What's your favorite fruit to eat? From Seed to Plant Project. So the author includes a how to raise bean plants informational guide. We're going to be writing our own informational guides very similar to this. So let's see what she says. Step 1. Find a clean glass jar. Take a piece of black construction paper and roll it up. Number 2, slide the paper into the jar. Fill the jar with water. Step 3, wedge the bean seeds between the black paper and the glass. Put the jar in a warm place. In a few days, the seeds will begin to sprout. Watch the roots grow down. The shoots will grow up. Watching your bean seed when they sprout. So they have it in a clear jar so you can see everything happening. You might want to try this experiment at home. Caring for your bean plants. 5, put dirt into a big clay pot. 6, carefully remove the small plants from the glass jar. Place them in the soil, covering them up to the base of their shoots. So you want to transfer it because now the jar is too small for it, and we want it to grow even bigger, so it needs more space and more soil for nutrients. Step 7, water them and watch them grow. Thank you for reading this story with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to be using this a lot to help with your procedural text writing, and I cannot wait to see how that goes. All right, bye guys!